ground is cracked, the sun offers no mercy, and the only sound following Cain into the wilderness is the memory of what he did. He killed his brother. God marked him and sent him east into nothing. But Genesis doesn't end his story in the desert.
Like the video and let us know your thoughts in the comments below.
Cain stepped away from God's presence, each step heavier than the soil he once tilled. Every bootfall crushed brittle dirt under his feet, the ground biting back hard and unforgiving. This was not the soft, yielding earth of his old fields. It matched the curse that clung to him, sharp and unyielding. He walked past the rows he had planted once, side by side with Abel. He walked past the mud brick home where Adam and Eve sat in silence, their hands folded over the empty space their second son had left. Each step pulled him farther from everything he had ever known. The world opened up around him, too wide, too empty, holding too little that felt like home. Then he crossed the unmarked border into the land called Nod. The name itself carried the weight of wandering. No fences marked its edges. No huts dotted its hills. No familiar rhythms of planting or harvest would guide his days here. The terrain shifted under his feet with every step. Sharp rocks scraped his calves. Sparse yellow grass cracked when he put his weight down. Dry riverbeds shifted with loose gravel. Thorny patches caught at his clothes and tore at his skin. Above him, the sky stretched blue and endless, a constant reminder of how small his sin had made him. There was no going back now. Only the empty land ahead and the weight of what he had done clinging to every breath. He wandered for days, then weeks, across the empty expanse of Nod. He learned to read the land's brutal rules, to survive where it offered no welcome. He cupped his palms to catch water from tiny trickles cutting through rocky ravines. He dug for bitter roots, picked sour wild berries, set crude snares to catch small rabbits that darted through the brush. He slept on bare ground under the open sky, listening to unseen nocturnal creatures pad through the thicket around his bed. He learned to flinch when a thorny branch caught him, to test loose gravel before stepping, to outrun the roar of big cats that hunted the open plains. The constant motion kept the noise in his head at bay for a time. Then the days stretched into monotony, and the noise broke through. The hot, white-hot anger that had driven him to raise his hand against Abel cooled. It burned out completely, leaving only something hard and heavy behind. Regret gnawed at his ribs, cold and constant. Confusion muddled his every thought. A hollow ache sat in his chest where the weight of anger had been, a hollow space where Abel should have stood. He replayed that final afternoon in the old fields, over and over. Each time, he searched for a different turn, a way to pull his hand back, a way to let the argument die, to walk away before it was too late. Each time, he ended at the same terrible outcome. No amount of searching could change the ending. There was no undoing what he had done. He could only sit with it, alone in the empty silence of Nod, and let the regret dig deeper. Life moves forward, even in the hollow silence of exile. Cain kept walking, kept digging, kept his hand on the crude tools he shaped from stone. He had learned to carry the regret, to let it sit in his chest without tearing him apart. But he had not learned to outrun the loneliness. That evening, the sun dipped low below the western hills. It painted the sky in streaks of amber and deep violet, turning the sparse grass gold where the last light touched it. Cain knelt to dig roots from dry, cracked soil, his fingers brushing dirt and small stones. When he paused to wipe sweat from his brow, he saw it, a thin, faint plume of gray smoke rising over the line of the farthest hills. It curled slow into the darkening sky, so faint he almost missed it against the fading light. Cain froze. He had not seen any sign of other people since he crossed into Nod. He had grown used to the silence, used to hearing only his own steps and the wind in the grass. This smoke was a crack in that silence. It meant fire. It meant warmth. It meant safety for those who huddled around it. Most of all, it meant other people. The deep, universal pull of connection drew him. Tighter than any rope, he stood, dust from the roots brushing off his palms. The mark on his skin burned faintly, as it always did when he thought of other people. He cleared the final rise and found the encampment tucked between twisted acacia trees. 3 simple shelters, woven from branches and stretched hide, huddled around a crackling central fire. The people there scrambled to their feet the second they saw him. Spears came up, pointed straight at his chest. Strangers were rare, and all strangers were enemies in the harsh, open land of Nod. Then they saw the mark. They did not know what it meant. They did not know the blood that clung to the man who wore it. But something in its shape made them instinctually hesitate. They stepped back. They did not strike. Cain held his hands up, empty, to show he carried no immediate threat. He did not reach for the axe at his belt. He stood still, waiting for the decision that would end or save his life. Then she stepped out from behind one of the shelters. Her hands were calloused from digging and building. Her eyes held equal parts curiosity and caution. The pull her presence gave him was unshakable, unexpected, nothing he had ever felt before. Her name was Awan. She sat across from him by the fire and let him speak. His words came at first, halting, broken. He told her of the exile, of the mark, of the weight that pressed on his chest every waking minute. He told her of his desire to build something that mattered, even with the curse resting on his bones. He expected her to flinch. He expected her to stand and run. She did neither. She sat still and listened. She did not turn away when he spoke of Abel. She did not flinch when he described the blood on his hands. She saw a man broken, but not destroyed. That was enough. As Enoch grew, Cain's ambition grew with him. He no longer wanted just to feed his family and survive. He wanted to build something that would outlast him. A place where all the scattered wanderers of Nod could stop walking and find safety. The idea of a city the first the world had ever seen took root in his mind, solid and unshakable. It would be more than huts huddled together. It would be a symbol of permanence, of community, of human ability to shape a good life, even after everything has gone wrong. Cain started small. He expanded his own stone dwelling first. He added separate structures for grain storage, for tool crafting, for keeping the goats and sheep they had captured and bred. He mixed mud and straw to make bricks, stacked them with quarried stone to build outer walls, learned through trial and error how to make them hold against wind and heavy rain. He cut narrow pathways through the thick, thorny brush, dug wider irrigation channels to feed more fields, and cleared a flat central space for community gatherings. Word spread faster than he imagined. A permanent settlement in Nod, where any wanderer was welcome. Hunters, tired of chasing game across endless plains, arrived first. Then, families looking for safety in numbers. Then artisans, eager to trade their work with others who needed it. Cain lived to see his city expand beyond anything he ever dared imagine. New generations were born. New homes rose outside the original wall. New skills emerged that Cain had never dreamed of. Enoch the city became a beacon in the empty lands of Nod. a testament to resilience and creativity. In his final years, Cain sat most days outside his home, with Enoch and the children of Enoch clustered around his feet. He told them stories of the world's beginning, of justice and mercy, of the power of choice, even for those who have fallen. When Cain died, the people of Enoch mourned him for 7 full days. They remembered his terrible first crime, but they remembered more what he had given them: safety, community, a future to call their own. Cain's legacy is not simple. He was the first to commit murder, but he was also the first to build a city. His life held the deepest human failure and the greatest human potential. He was cursed and protected, exiled and given a second chance. The city of Enoch still stands as proof. Even those who fall can rise again, not by erasing the past, but by choosing to build a different future. That is Cain's legacy. Hope, forged from regret, built by perseverance, for every broken person who dares to start again.
If the Bible in video form helps you grow, tap subscribe and join us. Thanks for watching, and we'll see you in the next episode.